It's getting crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, you can find your way, babe. Yeah, take a look around you, you can find your way, babe.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice, pay that. You don't wanna say that. You don't want to stay back. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, own it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical.
Clearly now, the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my song. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. And getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe.
You already know this is about to be stupid.
How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of y'all face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, this a new range, new page. Got me in a new country, new stage. I ain't signed no deal, I'm too paid. I do not have chill, I'm too crazy. I do not take L's, I'm too Brady. I might be frosted, I'm not flaky. Don't know what it cost me, it's all gravy. Turn on that faucet and just pay me. Whoa, we gon' get it, bring it back. Maybe Donald is a Mac. Couple bottles, empty glass. New machine, I'm sending facts. Bump the headline, check the facts. I'm not a gangster, but I'm a gorilla. Hop on them drums when I'm feeling J Dilla. Come get your lady, cause I'm a just stiller.
How about the range? Whoa. Hey, yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa.
How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of y'all face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. How about the range? How about the range? Whoa, there's no comparison. Black in America, a little too arrogant. I just embarrass y'all niggas irrelevant. I shouldn't have mentioned it. That's royal etiquette. Out of my element, way too intelligent. Grab you a therapist, send him my sentiments. Neck full of sediments. Caught me a Tesla and skirt through the valley. Dropped an investment in Silicon Valley. All of this cake, but I'm missing the patty. Might mess around and just move to Miami. Drums are so loud that they break in the chassis. King of the grass like I'm Lionel Messi. I am not crass, but my mental is messy. Mud in my glass while my pencil is sketching. All these rappers, but no one impressed me. Most of them actors that labels as testing.
How about the range? Whoa. Hey, yeah, I'm feeling strange. Whoa.
How about the range? I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of y'all face me. I took a sip, I'm not acting my age. I took a trip, now they got me on stage. Hop out the range, hop out the range. Whoa. Hop out the range. I'm feeling strange. I might be crazy. None of your phase me. Hop out the range, whoa. Yeah, I'm feeling strange, whoa. Check, 1, 2, ayy, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just thrown at the tatty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing no black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a hot king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just thrown at the tatty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing no black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill a fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just thrown at the tatty. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing no black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
This turkey tastes half as good as it looks. I think we're all in for a very big treat.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, Eddie.
Ho, 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 you lazy beesh. You better go to the fucking gym.
Swole, Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yahos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexing. on all
Fucking kettle.
you beaches. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole, and share the show with your friends. Also, you can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, available everywhere. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And of course, we will take some questions when we get to the Knowledge Cock portion. So if you have questions, put them aside, and you could drop them in the chat when we get to them. A couple things before we get started. We have some new merch. Today, I am rocking, of course, the gray GTTFG, but we have the brand new Fuck Your Candy Canes. Fuck your pumpkin spice, fuck your peppermint mocha, fuck your resolutions, fuck your candy corn, fuck your candy canes. And I'm assuming that I probably will be getting some DMs. I'm going to get some interesting DMs, I'll let you know. Hopefully not, but maybe of people actually fucking their candy canes. I hope not. I hope not, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Before we get any further, we also have buy one, get one, 50% off merch. We got the brand new Papa Swoleo's Christmas Gymcation. Go check out the brand new design if you enjoy National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You'll enjoy Papa Swoleo's Christmas Gymcation, Gainesmas Gymcation. Go and check it out, papaswolio.com. Buy one, get one, 50% off. So the favorite designs that you're putting off, that you're interested in, that you're waiting to get, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it before the crazy holiday season. I guess we kind of are in it. We're already in the holiday season. Next week, we got Black Swole Week. You got Thanksgiving. You have Christmas coming up, New Year. So make sure you get your orders in now. If there's snowstorms and delivery limitations or restrictions or something, if there's a big snowstorm that hits the entire country, except Florida, of course, you want to make sure you're getting in your gifts and your stocking stuffers and stuff, your main gains and your scalp seed and your bull cream and all those things. You want to make sure you get them in before primetime Christmas. So jump on it now, papaswolio.com. Check it all out. Fam, let's get into the greatest merch post in the realm. Let's see. We got a merch for the day. Insta Wild got the muscle alphabet, the lats, glutes, biceps, triceps, and quads, and he writes, a perfect shirt to finish this year with Papa Swolio, the last of, what was this, 2023? So this is a throwback. So based. The last of 2023. Is that when we released the shirt? Was it that long ago? I thought it was 2020. Was it 2024 last year? I don't even know. I don't even know when we released that. But that's a throwback. Love it. Thanks for the shout out. And of course, we drop new ones. Sometimes we kind of have like a grab bag for the merch picks. We have like so many and we just pick a random one for the day. So if it's new, if it's like something that just popped up, we'll drop it. Otherwise, we just raffle it off. So super awesome. Love the merch. Let's get into that tip. Let's do it.
Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside.
All right, we got the first one from inside the app.
What's in the box?
This one's from Mark. I had some of Miss Piggy. Some real bacon, not turkey. I think we know who I'm referring to. Haha.
Matt Damon.
Crucifixion.
Real bacon on that plate.
Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Delicious. That's the first Rate My Meal of the day. We got more coming up. Didn't want to give it away, but we got some Rate My Meal coming up. Tanya says, day 8 since I switched to Swole Mastery. My right side is still numb and the medication is messing up my stomach. Oh boy. And sleep, but I'm hopeful it will soon get back to normal. My diet is on point with lots of fermented foods, probiotics. I'm active and moving, and I keep the stress to a minimum. I increased the sets from 2 to 3. I never did a body weight program before, and it really highlights where my weak spots are and where my focus should be. Anyway, have a great week, fam, and keep crushing it. Indeed. All right. Not good to hear about your right side? Sorry to hear about the numbness. That's crazy. But body weight program, Swole Mastery, excellent. Good for you. And finding something that you can do and you can be consistent with. That's the key. Vasco says, morning fam. I joined the quote gym before sunrise crew recently. This is what we're talking about. I think yesterday, the day before. This is the post I was referring to. New job means new routine. So mornings became my workout slot. Feels great starting the day already having trained. No crowds, no waiting. If you're trying to make the time, morning sessions are really nice. And I think even yesterday we were talking about this. If you want the most dedicated people, go in the morning first thing. Go in the morning first thing. That's when you're going to get the people that are prioritizing it first in their day. They're there consistently because they have their schedule. They go to work at 7 or 6 or 8 or whatever it is, and they're there at the gym at 7 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 5 o'clock every day. People are friendly. You see the same people. They're getting to work. They're focusing. They're not just hanging out. So they're there getting it done. You might have the one guy that goes to the coffee bar or hangs out and just kind of schmoozes. You know, the older guy who's retired. He works out, talks to every single person that works there. It's his routine. You know, but you get that kind of consistent crowd that's there at the same time every day. You stay away from like the 14 and 15-year-olds standing around, broccoli-haired motherfuckers, just 5 people to a bench. So you actually avoid like the high school and the after recess crowd. So I would recommend, if you're going to the fucking gym, is first thing. Now, you might say that, hey, at my gym, everyone goes after work. I'm not saying you have disciplined people that go later in the day, but in my opinion, if you want the best times to train at a gym, it's early in the morning or like mid-afternoon. That's when the gyms are the least crowded, and yeah, if that's what you're looking for. But the early morning crowd is great, usually at most gyms. All right, let's get into it. It is time for Rate My Meal. Everyone's like, yeah, I don't know. All right, Rate My Meal. Drop in the comments. Would you eat this? Would you eat this? I think that's what Rate My Meal, Papa Swole. So let's see if we would eat it. Would we eat this? Jamie Riley, zooming in. Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. All right, we're at a restaurant, and hold on a second, bro.
What the fuck is that?
You trying to tell me those are actually shrimp? Are those like, did you get those after the Shrimp Olympics? Is there like a shrimp Kentucky Derby, and you got the last couple shrimp, the last place shrimp or something? Instead of cockfighting, are you doing shrimp fighting? Those are the biggest pieces of shrimp I've ever seen in my life. I won't even call those jumbo shrimp. That's an insult to these shrimp. If you're just listening, it's a big plate, and there's like 3 shrimp on it, and it takes up the whole plate. All right, literally it's like 4 or 5 or 6. So, or 8. No, it looks like there's 8 shrimp. Okay, I lied. There's shrimp on, there's a huge shrimp. Those are the biggest shrimp I've ever seen. Unless that plate is literally one of those little tiny side plates, which I don't think so. That looks like a big, and some big oysters, big shrimp. I like oysters. This looks like a fun appetite. This is the kind of thing that Mama Swole and I ate that one time, and I went back and I was violently sick for like an hour or two. Or that night, that was bad. The night was bad. Yeah. It didn't last too long, but yeah, it was shrimp and raw shrimp. It was shrimp. I think it was steamed shrimp and oyster and raw oysters. Yeah, and I got so sick from it. So looking at this kind of makes me like, ugh. You know, when you get sick from something and you're not over it for a while, then eventually maybe you can go back and eat it again. I feel like I'm kind of healed from the sickness psychologically, where I would go back and have oysters and shrimp. And I think I mentioned this story before. It was somewhat recently. I don't remember. I don't think it was. I've never gotten sick from oysters before. I never have. So I kind of think it was shrimp. I kind of think it was the shrimp, but it's possible. And Mama Swolio said she had a little bit of a headache afterwards. So I'm not sure if it was the oysters or the shrimp. Not sure. But anyway, that's an approved meal. That's approved. Just got to be careful with it. John Winchester, would we eat this? Rate his meal. Is that chicken and rice? It better be white rice. If it's brown rice, we got to teach John. You know what, John? I like you, John. I like you, so I'm going to help you. I like you, John, so I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, John. John is eating this kind of, it looks like the kind of vegetables you get at Toys R Us. These are just like the generic, hey, let's formulate vegetables to kind of look generic. You know, the little bag of peas and cubed carrots and green beans. That's gross. That's just nasty. Don't eat that shit. I think that's disgusting. I just hate the way it looks. It's not digestible. Peas, green beans, carrots, and fuck all. All right, so I don't like that. The buy stuff, I don't even know what that is. Flavored water or something. This plate, I think we got to teach you how to cook. just because it looks like you have rice and chicken that looks plain, and you just have some like banana peppers or jalapeno slices or whatever you put them just on top of it. So it's not so much the meal. If you want to eat some vegetables, let me get you, at least, make some steamed vegetables or something properly, which is ironic because I don't think you could really make them properly. They don't really taste that great, even if they're high quality. But let's get you some salt. Let's get you cooking some butter. If you cook in butter or tallow, you're not going to need to put, just looks like there's no flavor to it. So don't be afraid of things that add flavor. And this is why people a lot of times, and in general, John on the right track, but the quality of that can improve, and just your cooking skills, just saying. The reason for that is if you are, when people usually are obsessed about seasonings. They really obsess about seasonings because one, they need this kind of constant mouth pleasure. They need this constant stimulus in their mouth. But if you are cooking, if you're putting salt on your food and you're getting the protein, you're getting some fat, right? You might not have enough fat on there. But if you're cooking in butter or tallow, you're getting the fat, you're getting the protein, you're getting the salt. You're going to love the meal. It's going to taste good. You just don't have enough fat. Chicken doesn't have fat. If you're eating chicken breast, there's no flavor there. White rice, you're not getting any flavor on it unless you're cooking the rice and you're putting some butter in the rice. But if you're cooking the chicken and you're cooking that in some tallow or butter, it's going to give you that flavor. And just saying, you don't need to worry about, pepper and all these different seasonings and everything seasoning and all these different things on top of it. Most people are doing that because it tastes like nothing. So you'll learn how to cook. You learn how to cook better, and we got to up the quality of what you're eating. But John, on the right track. Temporary shout out. I appreciate that. Buff Tanjai, your impressions always make me laugh. You're really good at them. I was catching up on the man cast the other day and felt like I had to tell you, love the show, Papa. Why, thank you, and some gorillas. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks for enjoying the show, and I appreciate the comment. Says, I read 67% of kids' diets in America are ultra highly processed food. That's insanity. Yeah, it's probably more. And again, when we talk about healthy food, this is in the context of the Daily Swole and the Swole fam. So if I'm talking about what's healthy, it's going to be much different than what a lot of people. And this is why I always want to clarify when someone says, oh, I'm not getting results. I'm doing X, Y, and Z, but I eat clean, blah, blah, blah. How come? I do all this and I eat clean. It's like, what do you think clean is? A lot of people think clean is grilled chicken Caesar salad and, I don't know, a chai latte or something. People have no idea what eating healthy is. And for each individual, it's going to mean a little bit different. Some of you do you have any food allergies? What's your food allergy? Drop in the comments. Some people are very sensitive to certain things. Now, I think for most people, usually it's going to be more objective. Certain things are going to be objectively better than others, but some people might have specific intolerances, and then you have to adjust accordingly. So everyone's going to be a little bit different. Most people shouldn't be eating processed foods, but some people can tolerate some a little bit. Some people will break out in hives or have a crazy migraine. So if you're hypersensitive, you really have to avoid it like the plague, and you're not benefiting if you're eating it. So when you're putting something in your mouth, ask yourself, how is this benefiting me? Why am I putting this in my mouth? Am I just trying to eat something that tastes good and fills my stomach up? It's like, why am I eating all this broccoli just to feel full? Why don't you eat real food, get nutrition, and then you could be slightly hungry. You don't have to stuff your stomach until it's exploding every time. You don't have to feel distended and bloated to know that you're full. That's gross. All right, Josh Noble says, I'm a simple man. Ah, simple man. There's eggs and steak. I will say that this gets me absolutely.
Boom shakalaka!
That's rock hard. I'm eating it. Josh Noble. Round of applause. Lee Raymond. What do we got? Steak. We got some, who knows what the fuck it is. We got some toes. There's a lot going on in this picture, Lee. We got 3 toes in the bottom right. We have a live edge table, which is cool. Baked potato with some sort of sour cream, or is that bread? I can't tell. Looks like a potato. Some of that gnarly pasta. I can taste that, and I don't want to taste it. That just tastes, that kind of whatever pasta. What do you call that pasta? It's just like rubbery, and I don't know. I know the taste. It's kind of stuff they always have like in Italian delis, and it's just gross. It just sits there with the plastic wrap over it. But the steak I'm a fan of. The steak I'm a fan of. The steak and probably that potato there. I don't like that. I hate that cold pasta shit. I fucking hate that stuff. I never liked the taste of that. Melanie Jackson. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled cottage cheese eggs. Again, with the cottage cheese. What are we doing with these eggs? People need so... Okay. And look, you can eat whatever you want. I'm just... You're posting it, so I'm going to be like, ew, gross, and you can still eat it. People put so many things... That's one of the things I see from these, right? It's either people eating crap or eating weird combinations of like healthy food, but why would you mix that? And it just looks like people are looking for novelty everywhere. You have some people who are like, I'm a simple man. Yeah, because that's all you need. Josh is like steak and like that's all the flavor you need. You get your protein, you get your fat, you get your salt. You're good. You're good. Have a glass of orange juice, something with it. Like you're great. You know? People are just mixing all these things. Like you don't have to eat them all together. You don't have to put them all together. I think people think they need to get everything at every meal. I need all my colors and all my different shapes, and I don't understand why people are doing cottage cheese in everything. I think it's probably because the overconsumption of protein, people thinking that for fitness and stuff, that they need more protein than they do. Scrambled cottage cheese eggs. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure it tastes good if you know, but like, I mean, eggs are great. And scrambled is like scrambled eggs. That's like, and I'm not hating on the scrambled eggs, but in my opinion, scrambled eggs are the well done. It's like a well done steak. The eggs are just, it's great. Just sunny side up or over easy. And like, you want the egg intact, in my opinion. You don't want it destroyed, but that's my take on it. Scrambled cottage cheese eggs, 2 slices of uncured turkey bacon. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got the turkey bacon. I hit the boo button. Okay, there we go. Squash and homemade diced hash browns with mush apple overnight oats. Oh, is that a brand? That sounds disgusting. Oh. I'm going... this is not even about Melanie anymore. This is about overnight oats, and you're calling it mush. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. You know my qualms with this. Uncured turkey bacon. I'm a fan of the real thing. Squash, I don't really care about. That's fine. Hash browns, nothing wrong with it. Homemade, cooked in good stuff. Butter, ghee, tallow. Eggs, cottage cheese, fine. You want to mix them, weird, but fine. Mush apple overnight oats. I think oats are awful. I think that's peasant food. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like, mush. So yeah, leave that out. Leave that out, eat the rest, and we're good. And maybe let's get you on some good bacon. You can tell the bacon. Look at that. Look at this. That's not, what is that? Right? What's that? You're going to call that bacon? What is that? You know what that looks like? That looks like you took fruit by the foot and just cut a little section off, right? You took strawberry fruit by the foot and you cut a little bit. You know fruit by the foot? If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you know fruit by the foot. Cancer by the roll. Let's see. Fruit by the foot. I'm sure they still make it. Oh, man. If any of us get cancer someday, it's because of this shit. Fruit by the foot. Of course Walmart sells it. Of course you sell it. This stuff? Yo. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is a screenshot. That's a screenshot from Walmart. Look at this. Fruit by the foot, berry tie-dye. Yeah, it's berry tie-dye color. That's what it looks like. Look at it. I told you. It looks like fruit by the foot. It looks like you just cut a little bit of fruit by the foot and you're pretending it's bacon. All right. So we had that, and now I'm going back to Mark's post. I'm going back to Mark's post because Mark was eating bacon, and I was like, this is what bacon looks like. Okay? This is bacon. Okay? Mark made bacon. So let me show you what bacon looks like. Okay? And that's what bacon looks like. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right? Look at that. That's bacon. That's what bacon looks like. Okay? Now let's look at this. You tell me if that looks like bacon. It does not. It does not look like bacon. No way. All right. We got some work to do. Interesting start. And you're in plastic, in a plastic container. And this is not to look. I know people are like, yeah, and they might feel proud. So I want to make sure. I want to clarify. You're sharing this, of course. It could be open. You're saying rate my. I'm saying post your picture. I'm going to rate your meal. So I'm going to rate it. There's a lot of things you can improve with this. I like the hammer. I like the Thor hammer container. Make sure it's not plastic. You don't want to be drinking out of plastic, especially a shaker bottle with plastic. You know, you want to get rid of those Helix and plastic stuff. Oh, but it's BPA and this and the other. It gets scored and scratched. If it's not stainless steel or glass, like, you know, you're eating it. You're putting it in the freaking dishwasher, super hot. You know, don't. But those plastic containers, those are the things you either buy pre-made meals or get glass. I'm telling you, you're putting hot food or you're microwaving it, you're heating in plastic. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. You don't want to put something hot in plastic. It's just getting in your food. You get enough plastic without, even if you try really hard to remove all plastics from your food, if something's wrapped in plastic, you're getting micrograms. Isn't it about you eat a credit card's worth of plastic a year or something? Even if you avoid it all, just from little tiny micro pieces that build up over time. So don't add to your environment, right? Just take things out of plastic packaging, get rid of it. You don't need to eat more than you already get, even if you avoid it. And if you try to avoid it, you're still getting some. You know, it's in that's why I call it microplastics. Like, you can't even see it sometimes, just little pieces that are in the air or on food or don't get washed off or break apart or slough off when you're scrubbing them. Cutting boards and stuff, little gouges, like you're eating some of that shit. So get rid of it. Anyway, Rob Smith, speaking of shaker bottle, it looks like you had a shake of sorts and a bar. I don't know what that is. Salted caramel. You know, I'm not against shakes. I have whey protein in the morning. I'll have it before my workout. I'll use it, but it's usually it's with electrolytes. I'm not trying to criticize other people. I can use it, but you can't. But most people are using flavored. They're getting a lot of like artificial flavorings in their proteins, or the protein is low quality. It could be heavy metals if it's not third party tested. You're getting, you know, ultra processed, maybe seed oils in these bars and stabilizer, low quality protein sources. And you don't need the bars. I would just say, have your protein or have a snack or eat a bigger meal or just fast. It really depends on the context, but most of this stuff is gnarly. Just be careful. Use it strategically. There should be really used as snacks. You don't really need more protein as a snack. You need more of a nutrient dense meal. And I think for most people, if you're trying to do 3 meals and 2 shakes, I think if people focused on better nutrition and ate more at those 3 meals, they're not going to need those little in-betweens. They could just hydrate with electrolytes. I think people would be much better off. Even if you did 4 small meals, most people don't need 6 small meals unless you're like a professional bodybuilder or something and you have to eat a ton of calories and you're holding a lot of lean mass. But you back off on the protein, you get enough, about 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. I've always said this, like if you're eating, I've said more, you have to figure this out, but logically, if you go by body weight, you have bone density, you have organs, you have fat, you have water. Why are you eating per pound of body weight? Do you need protein to maintain the water on your body? It doesn't make sense. You should be eating for your lean mass, for your bones and for your organs and for your muscle tissue, not for your fat stores, not for your water. All right. So you don't need to eat for your overall body weight. You need to eat for your lean mass. So you have to isolate the lean mass and focus on getting enough protein, but more just overall calories, enough protein throughout the day, the quality of the sources, reducing inflammation. Remember, if you have chronic inflammation from what you're eating, your cortisol levels are higher, you're more stressed out. So if you're eating foods that are taxing your body and your immune system, then your cortisol, your stress hormones are going to be heightened because you're fighting off invaders, things that shouldn't be in your body, essentially. And these are layered. So if you're fighting toxins on your skin, you're fighting toxins in the air, and you're fighting, and you have LED lights, and then you have constant noise and stress, and then you're also eating garbage, and you're doing all these things, and you're sitting in a cubicle, and you have a lot of stresses coming at you. So you have to balance these things out and do the best that you can. especially if you're in more of an environment. Remember, it's you putting yourself in a better environment. So if you pull up the 7 pillars, we'll get into questions in just a second, and you look at community is your environment. It's the people, but it's also the things you read. It's the things that you listen to, podcasts of people you spend time with. It's the lighting in your house. It's community. It's your surroundings. So you need to make sure that you are optimizing your surroundings the best that you can. All right, let's get into some questions. Question time. Drop your questions in the comments. Let's take some questions. If you have them live, drop them in the comments. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio.
What's in the box?
We'll take some live questions. Buff Tan on YouTube says, recently found out tamarind and hibiscus can help remove microplastics from the body. Interesting. Is that true? I think some things can help, but it's also about like what's the rate of it going in. So first off, you got to stop more from coming in and then get what you have in your body. Same thing with heavy metals. Like I said, I'm sure there's certain things when people ask, oh, should I do a cleanse? Should I do this? Should I sterilize myself? Should I just drink vinegar for a week? I don't know. Some of those things might actually work if you have serious heavy metal poisoning. So if you have like serious heavy metal, you got tested in, I'm sure some of those things could work. It'll bind to it and flush it out. So I'm not saying that some of those things don't specifically work for individuals. But for people who are like, I'm fat and I have terrible habits, what should I do? Should I do a cleanse? It's like, you just need to stop eating cake and go to the fucking gym and get some sun and lift some weights and get sleep. It's for most people, your body will handle itself. You just got to put it in a better environment. You surround yourself with better things. Same reason why a lion gets bored and dies, let's say in captivity, because they're bored and they're locked in. You put the lion in a better environment, the lion will thrive, will hunt and mate and feel good. You want to make you put your body in an environment where it feels good. Give it exercise, give it sun, give it good sleep, stretch, lower stress, meditate, read some books. You go to work, meet people, provide value. You have to put your human body in an environment that it's going to be like, I'm a human body. I'm feeling good. This is good for me. And everyone's going to be different. What feels good for one person and what works good for your life might not be good for someone else. Some people like to travel all the time. Some people like to paint, Eli Radinsky. Should I take a deload week after 2 weeks of not hitting the gym? What, bro?
Matt Damon.
Should I take a deload week? What are you talking about? You just took 2 weeks off.
Everybody knows you never go full.
You just took 2 weeks off. Should you deload? Should you take a third week off? No, you deloaded, bro. You completely deloaded. You have no load. What? Should I take a deload week after 2 weeks? Why would you not hit the gym for 2 weeks? You should get on a quality program that doesn't suck and get some consistency. Why are you taking 2 weeks off? Most people are deloading, but there's no need. What are you deloading from? Most people aren't even loading properly. Think about it. You're going to build muscle if you're progressively overloading. So you're not loading at all. Most people deload before they even build anything. I train for a little bit. I'm sore. Should I stop training? You shouldn't be deloading unless there's a specific reason. And when we do certain kind of like shifting, we have like slingshot weeks and certain types of deloading structures in some of our programs to expose, because it's a structured program. So it's designed to give you some perspective, because most people don't understand what loading and deloading is. Same thing with the elimination diet. You don't realize how bad you're eating until you eat healthy. Until you get rid of all this shit, you realize, oh my God, all this stuff I was eating every day for my entire life really was fucking me up. I just didn't notice it because I was used to it. So if you've never really trained hard, then guess what? You've never really deloaded from training hard. You've never seen the comparison of what full recovery looks like relative to stressing your body out more regularly. But then if you've noticed that we have some of those slingshot weeks inside, again, if you want to join the fam, download the app, go to swolenormousx.com, join the fam. We got membership specials for Fuck Your Resolution season. All this stuff is in the app. And For Maximum Swole, there's no deloading, right? It's a split, and it doesn't even give you specifically how many days between. So here's a split, and then at that point, you're more advanced and you're able to customize your recovery. And you understand this split's better for me with 2 days here, with 1 day here, with these 2 days in a row. And then you're able to customize that to the point where Maximum Swole is designed for 0 deloads. You don't need to deload anything. If you're doing proper programming based on your needs and your, where you're at with your exercise selection, with your intensity, you don't need to deload. If you feel the need to deload or add another recovery day, sometimes you need that, but it could be a sign of poor programming. If you always need to add an extra recovery day, or you always feel after 2 or 3 weeks, I need to take a week off, I'm wiped out, your programming sucks. You shouldn't be hitting a wall that quickly or that often or at all, in my opinion, especially for someone who's not competing, or I'm not doing an athletic event. I'm training for myself. I'm training for life. I want to maintain this for an extended period of time. I'm not trying to overdo it and then burn out. So if I'm always hitting a wall, and I'll notice that if I always get to this part of my program, like I need an extra day, then something's not working. Either that's not a good split for me, or for that split, the intensity is too high for certain exercises. So it could be the exercise selection, could be the proximity to failure. It could be the overall volume. It could be a bunch of things. So I have to look at that and see if it's the programming or something else within the programming, because sometimes the split, there's no bad split. It's just whether or not you can respond to it. Some people like upper lower rest, upper lower rest. Some people like upper lower rest, rest, upper lower rest, rest. Some people like upper rest, lower rest, upper rest, lower rest, or whatever it is. Upper lower rest, push pull legs, rest, rest. It doesn't really matter as long as you're training the muscles generally twice a week and the intensity, and then you have to adjust everything in between. And I think when you start doing Maximum Swole, something that I've found over the years, and many of you that have done that, once you start training really intensely, you realize, oh, I don't need as much volume. I need nowhere near as much volume as I thought I did, especially if I'm pushing it and loading up the bar and like I'm pushing to failure for 2 sets between, let's say, 6 to 15 reps. Like you're really sending it on 2 exercises, or on one, let's say you're doing chest, you're doing a pushing or a fly, and you're going all out. You warmed up properly, all out for 2 sets. You don't need another chest exercise. If you're going to train it again in 3 days or so, you just go all out again, pick a different exercise. Instead of doing 2 on the same day, do 1 on that day and do 1 on the next day. You don't need 4 or 5 sets in one day for chest. You can do it, but you'll need more recovery. You're not going to be able to train it again in 2 or 3 days. So it depends on your split. If you know if I do 4 sets of chest on Monday, there's no way I'm training it again on Thursday. Okay. So either do 4 sets and train again on Friday, or do 2 sets and train again on Thursday or Friday, or whatever it is, right? You have to figure that out for yourself. But again, if you're getting stronger and you're making progress, cool, keep doing that. And the human mind is really weird. The body, and you will think, and most people will think, if I don't feel sore, if I don't get that instant gratification from what I did, that I'm not making progress. If I don't feel the soreness, then I'm not building muscle. If I don't feel the soreness, I didn't have a successful workout. So then they overdo it to the point where like it hurts to the touch. But don't forget, when you're laying down contractile proteins and you're getting stronger, you're not going to see that. It's microscopic. You don't go from Monday to Friday and you put on like an ounce of muscle on your chest. You might put on an ounce of muscle on your chest maybe over the course of months, right? So in terms of, you're building other muscles too. You're building other muscles in your body. So you're not going to see the growth. That's why you see the growth based on, hey, I got 6 reps last time. Now I got 8. Well, there you go. If it's a brand new exercise, yeah, there's coordination stuff too. But if you're doing over the course of a few and several weeks and you get that extra rep and you go up another 5 pounds, you're building muscle. You're building muscle. You do an exercise for 6 months straight and you go from putting 100 pounds on it to 185 pounds. And you're doing 100 pounds for 6 reps. Now you're doing 185 for 8 reps. You're building a lot of muscle. Like you're getting strong, you're making progress with that. So that's how you can quantify. And of course you can do, that's why the DEXA scans and different things to measure how much muscle you actually have and all that type of MRI stuff that can tell you where the body fat is and show you the whole, like the breakdown, the DEXA scan, if you've heard of that. But it's expensive and not a lot of people have access to it or know where to do one. And it doesn't really matter. If you look in the mirror and you're feeling good, right? That's the most important thing. Your joints feel good. You're feeling strong. You like what you see in the mirror. You're making progress. Your clothes fit better. The body fat percentage doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying get away from the body fat percentage, because it doesn't really matter. If you're comfortable where you're at and you feel good where you're at, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You know, you still want to make progress, but like for me, like I can see my abs. Am I shredded to the bone? No, but I'm not trying to be. Like I'm good, so I'm fine. I don't care about if it's a 14, is it 16.2? Is it 13.9? Is it, I don't care. But people like that kind of analytical stuff. That's why they look at the scale. That's why they look at these body fat measurements. And the scale doesn't give you all the information. And the body fat, how most people do it, they step on a scale or they do an in-body and it's not that accurate. So they get these generally not accurate measurements depending on when they're doing it. And they base their progress based on that random number that fluctuates based on how much water they drank or this, that, and the other, when they can actually, and that's the thing, your measurements, you do any kind of calipers and things, those are going to fluctuate. The scale's going to fluctuate. But what is going to be honest with you is how much weight you're pushing, right? You can't lie about 110. Well, I did 110 for 8. Well, if you got 6 and you're telling yourself you got 8, then you're lying to yourself, right? If you did 100 pounds, either you got 8 reps or you got 6 reps. You couldn't do another one. It was either 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 3. It's objective, right? So if you could only get 5, it's like, okay, keep doing that weight and that stuff and keep working your schedule and your training, nutrition to get that to 6, to get that to 7, to get that to 8. And whatever the volume, whatever this is, you're getting stronger there. Cool, it's working. Keep going. All right, hashtag get swole if you haven't dropped it in the chat for a chance to win today's Swole card. We'll give it away at the end of today's episode. Komodo 1, Papa Swolio. How to get a friend to the gym who is not as motivated as us. You don't. You make new friends. You go to the gym anyway. You encourage them to come with you. And this is what you're learning. You're learning that a lot of people aren't going to want to go to the gym and take care of themselves. And this is when you start finding new friends and you start building other relationships. Going to the gym, taking care of yourself, going to the fucking gym, eating healthy, living a certain lifestyle is different than most people. Most people don't give a fuck. They want to eat whatever they want. They do whatever they want. They don't want any responsibility for their actions. They just consume. And either they get on board or they're living a completely different life. And chances are you're not going to be spending much time or friends with them in the future. It just happens. I'm not saying that's going to be the case with this, but if they're not motivated, cool. Let them go. Let them go. Do you, and either they come along or they get into it or they don't, and you go your separate ways. A lot of friends are friends for a season. So you can't force people to be motivated. You can't force people to go to the gym. You can get them, be like, come on. They're like, all right, fine. But if they don't get into it, if they're not ready for it, this is going to slow you down. Yup, I'm Thomas. Papa Swole, are you natural? And if you are, how long have you been working out for? I am. I've been working out. We talked about this yesterday. I guess almost 30 years, 27, 28 years. Super serious about getting fucking jacked for like 25 years. But I'll be on. Come on, I want to be on the sauce soon. Come on, I'm going to get on that TFT. Let's go fucking baby. I'm so curious. Because I already have muscle. I already there's like if I do a little bit of, I might respond like crazy to it. And people are going to think I'm taking tons of juice when I'm just taking a little bit because I'm already like, I'm already doing all these other things to optimize. People already think I'm taking tons of stuff, so that'll be fun. No, but I didn't do it before. Yeah, well, he's not natural. I'm like, well, I was until like last week. That's the thing, right? If I start doing, I'm on TRT now, then everything else is just like, oh, well, that guy takes this and the other. Even if it's just like 10 years of content online and all this stuff. And then it's just going to get erased because like, oh, he's just, yeah, but you're taking TRT. It just discounts everything you say automatically now. To idiots if you're retarded. But Greymouth, are you doing No Nut November challenge? No, I'm not a, I don't know. I'm not a 15-year-old. Most of the people that are doing No Nut November have they got no prospects anyway. So they're like, I'm not going to touch myself with my hand. It's like, okay, buddy. Anyone with a wife or girlfriend are like, I'm not doing that shit. That's stupid. It's only from people that have no prospects anyway. I'm not going to masturbate for a month. Okay. That's a cool story. All right, Sly Leroy, I'm assuming. Papa Swole, what to do between gym sessions when you have a sitting job 10 hours a day? Micromobility. Get up, move around, squat, yoga. Train first. You're sitting during the day, then go home and do yoga at night. And train in the morning and integrate and do more mobility during your training. Do like Jefferson curls and sissy squats. But when you have a sitting job, you can get up and go to the bathroom, and you could drop down and do a couch stretch and do a deep squat. You could do like 2, 3, 5 minutes of mobility here and there. It'll change your life. Inside Swole Enormous X, we have chair yoga. So I recommend anyone who has a sitting job. You might be like, well, I'm not in a wheelchair and I know how to do yoga and I'm strong. Do the chair yoga classes because you'll just learn different moves. So like you're doing different yoga using a chair. It's not just like sitting down in a chair. It's using a chair. So if you're at work, you'd be like, oh, there's a certain bend. Like you can just stop for a second, and do like a pose, that you learn from the class, or drop down and get like, your hips opened up, or do a deep squat, get up from your chair and do like a deep squat and kind of move back and forth, stand up, bend backwards, and then sit back down again. Even doing that 10 times a day will change everything. So it just teaches you different moves. Oh, I never thought about doing that with the chair. Oh, that's a really cool stretch. And you just do it during your day, right? A little micromobility, drop down and do a couple moves. Last question. We'll go into balls deep. If you don't have any live questions, drop in the comments, hashtag #AskPapaSwolio. Kale Green. Yes, Papa. Tea or coffee or none water? Is that death? Is that like death? Liquid death? It's called none water. None water. Tea, coffee. I drink all of the above. I like tea in the evening, coffee in the morning. I have tea before bed, and I'll drink water too. It's amazing. I could do it all.
Hi, puppy.
I do it all. Wild times. I know.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep.
All right, let's get into some balls deep. Reminder, we have buy one, get one, 50% off over at papaswolio.com. BOGO Fitty, all merch, discounts automatically applied. So go check out all the brand new drops. The best sellers, we usually have that at the top because they're just absolutely fire. Look through that. How many of you have all of them? Do any of you have all the designs? Like, not every single one. That'd be ridiculous. But the best sellers. Go to the fucking gym. Ozempic, the Muscle Alphabet, Barbell Girl, Depth Vader, Optimus Pump, Super Swole Bros, Dora the Swole Explorer, Swoleopoly, Forest Pump, Gaindolf, back to the fucking gym. Yeah. When you look at those for best sellers, yeah, those are, because sometimes you look at best sellers and you look through and like, I don't like that. These are all solidly best sellers. I think Swoleverine, there's certain ones that are deadlift. Those were also good ones, but we have problems with those. So I don't know if you guys have all seen them, or I don't even know if we have them on the site. Some of them get flagged a lot. So if you have that, if you have deadlift or you have Swoleverine, those get ripped off all the time. Like, so we're not even able to post those. I think that's why I don't even see them on the site right now. Let it grow. So this is why when we do a new design, I'm telling you, like, I know you guys have your own preferences, but some of these designs, you jump on them like the first day because sometimes like we can't sell them anymore. We launch it, a bunch of Swole fan members or like people, we announce them on Mondays, you buy them, and then by Wednesday, there's some designs that I know some of you have that we don't even sell because we can't even get them to print. So there's some ones out there that you guys have that are just collector's items that it was either a design that we tweaked after, because sometimes we release them on that first day and then 2 days later we kind of adjust the design slightly. So you have like, not an error design, but collector's items. Some of you got some classics that aren't even on the site. Just so you know. All right, let's take a question before we go balls deep. Nunuham. Papa, what's one exercise to recommend to obese, sedentary cousin? Wants to get started now, but knows nothing. Dead hangs. No, they're not going to do dead hangs. They're not going to be able to do dead hangs. Going for a walk. Eating healthier and going for walks. any kind of body weight. You could hold on to something and do squats. You could do Swole Master. You could do like some body weight things like Swollen 7 and yoga. Those are the best things. Because if you're doing yoga, it kind of walks people through. It's really hard. So you want them to maybe do chair yoga or a starter class so they feel success with it. But even just being just mobile, getting your nutrition, getting better sleep, and moving more, just walking is a great start. Because if you're obese, walking's enough. But you just got to be careful for like the joint stress and stuff. Depends on how obese they are and what the individual situation is. All right, we got a couple here. Let's start with the... Oh, speaking of obese, let's do this one first. Plus size plane. Sorry for your eye holes. You've been warned. You don't watch the Daily Swole if you are sensitive, so.
Of course I can't fit the tree down now. I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course I'm going to sit beside the smallest member of my family. I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course the armrest is digging me.
What's with this music?
I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course I have to shimmy down the aisle sideways.
Yeah, you're fat. Okay.
I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course I need to see.
Wait. You see this guy? Look at this guy. When she walks by, look at that. Jesus. Great Men's Society? Oh, this is posted. Look at that guy's face. That's a meme. That dude's a meme right there. He's just like... He's like, He's leaning away from her fat gunch. That's funny. Look at the guy's like, what are you, can you imagine someone recording this and you're sitting there like, ugh, I'm plus size on a plane. He's just like, God. And they're trapped. Those people are trapped and they have to be there while she films that fucking shit. They have to sit through this. She says it.
On the aisle sideways. Of course I have to shimmy down the aisle.
Oh my God, he probably heard her say that. And look at this.
And on a plane, of course I'm plus size and on a plane. Of course I have to shimmy down the aisle sideways.
She just said that behind him. She was right next to him. Oh, cringe. Oh, God. She was right behind him. I'm plus size on a plane. Of course I have to shimmy sideways. And he's like, what the fuck? Gross. Gross. Gluttony and sloth, right? Remember we talked about that? Right? Let's just get the list, right? Is this oh, sweet. I'm actually... I'm gonna save this image on the page. I'm just gonna save this on the podcast. All right, so let's look at this. We got the seven deadly sins. I'll put that on the right of the screen. Lust, gluttony, greed, laziness, wrath, envy, pride. All right, that's better. So hold on a second. Let me get rid of this one. Yeah. All right, it was sharper. So let's see. Gluttony, eating in excess. I'll bring it big. Eating in excess or drinking. For drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Proverbs 23:21. Greed, a selfish desire to have more. Having lost all sensitivity, they have given themselves over to sensuality, so as to indulge in every kind of impurity, with a continual lust for more. Ephesians 4:19. Laziness, lack of effort. The way of the sluggard is blocked with thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. Let's see. The pride's one of those. Inflated state of being proud. Pride goes before destruction. A haughty spirit before a fall. Right? You're proud to be fat. You're proud to be, and this is the thing, right? You're combining it. They're proud to be gluttonous. They're proud to be greedy. They're proud to be lazy. Right? That's the problem. It's the promotion. It's the promotion. And it really comes from a sense of envy. A lacking and emptiness, which is ironic because the last thing that they are empty. They're just full of water and flesh and fat. It's gross. All right, let's do this one. This one's called third category.
What's in the box?
Third category.
California just created a third category for trans individuals in regards to sports, which for some reason pisses me off a lot more than just straight up not allowing trans people to compete. Both are bad, but this feels worse.
Feels worse. Okay, for one, let's just clarify, just to get everyone on the same page here. Feelings are irrelevant. There's male and female. I don't think there should be a third category. I don't think there should be. If you want to pretend to be a woman, you should still compete with men. If you're trying to compete, because you're a man. But then you're going to have men with mental disorders running around. Like, we don't want that either. So we don't want men like with a wig, right? You know, you don't want mentally insane people like playing soccer. It's a man wearing a long wig, but I'm a man, you know. Messi's running around with like a long wig, pretending to be a woman. We don't want that either. So it feels worse. Yeah, what? Because everyone's like, okay, cool. You want to be mentally insane? Go play in your corner. They want to manipulate. They want to destroy women. They want to compete against women. They want to destroy women. They want to win because they suck. They can't hack it as a man, so they're going to try to put a wig on and beat a woman, which is easy in sports for a man, obviously. Unless you're at the highest level and you have to be decent, you know. But that's why, 14-year-old boys beat like Olympic level women's soccer. It's just because men and women are different. So, yeah. I mean, it's not fun anymore, is it? If you have to go play in your own sandbox, no one wants to play with you. Hey, go play with the other fucking weirdos. And you're like, no, but I want to do this. It's like, nope, have fun. It should feel, we don't care how you feel. You didn't care how anyone else feels. You didn't care that anyone else is losing their ability to live life normally.
I don't think any of us want a third category because we're not like some weird subsect of people. If I'm a trans woman, I'm a woman. If a man is a trans man, they're a man. It's not that complicated. Making some third category just ostracizes a group of people even more than they already are. This is stupid. This is unbelievably stupid. Do you know how many trans people compete yearly in sports across the country? Not that
7.
Many. Whatever.
Not that many. Exactly.
Across the country, not that many.
Not that
Whatever
many.
The number you're thinking of, it's 50% less than that, probably more.
So like 3.5. Good. So have your own category, then don't compete. Be a man or be a woman. Yeah. Do you know how many? Not that many. Exactly. Shut the fuck up. Exactly. Be quiet. Be quiet. All right. One more. It's called privilege. Last one.
What's in the box?
Last one.
You don't know how privileged you are. Your white skin, your able body.
She's white and she's folding clothes.
Easy entrance into rooms that others are barred from.
Easy entrance to rooms. No, you just walk in. Are you talking about morbidly obese people who have to shimmy sideways in airplanes because they're too fat? I mean, I got to walk in sideways because of the sick fucking gains. Can't even walk in straight. Got to turn sideways. I don't want to break the door frame. Because I respect. I respect people's personal property.
You don't realize how privileged you are. Your ovaries and womb, your birth canal.
Well, that got out of hand fast. Are
there any women here today?
I didn't expect that to. Okay, let's play this out.
You don't realize how privileged you are. Your ovaries and womb, your birth canal, your lips that speak for womanhood, as if you own it. You have no idea how privileged you are. Your breasts, your waist, your hips, your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on.
I'm sorry, what? Put that in the soundboard folder. I want to play that again. I want to talk about that soft triangle.
Waist, your hips, your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on.
Your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on. Anyone else zoom in on a soft triangle lately? You could zoom in on Instagram pictures. You could zoom in on a triangle if you want to.
Soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on. You wear your body like a badge, and still you guard the gates as if anyone asking to enter must be trying to steal it from you.
You could tell she's never read history. You ever heard of Troy? The Trojan horse? Yeah, there's a... There's historical precedent for that. There's a reason.
You guard the gates as if anyone asking to enter must be trying to steal it from you.
Maybe that big old wood horse wasn't a gift from the gods. Yeah, maybe Apollo was not pleased. You guard the gates as everyone's storming. Well, probably shouldn't be letting everyone in. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. I'm right. I'm right.
Body like a badge, and still you guard the gates as if anyone asking to enter must be trying to steal it from you. Your privilege should be stripped, not out of cruelty, but justice. Not to wound you, but to spare others the blade of your entitlement. The way you wield biology like a weapon.
What the fuck is she talking about? You wield biology like a weapon? I don't even know what her point is.
The way you deny truth, as if truth were yours to distribute.
We choose truth over facts.
I don't even know what her point is.
Truth, as if truth were yours to distribute. The pain you have caused is immense and enormous and heart-wrenching and continuing. Not because you exist, but because you insist others should not.
Oh my God. Is that supposed to be like, okay, so this is trans propaganda? This is more trans? You insist others should not exist. She's talking about she's talking about women. Like you take it for granted that you have a soft triangle. Okay, so that's what she's saying. You take it for granted that you have a soft triangle, aka a vagina, because you're a woman, and other men who are mentally distraught and insane get zoomed in on like, oh, they have a dick down there because they have a dick. That's why. The reason why a man will get zoomed in on because they have a cock down there. And you're like, oh, that's a dude. Oh, look at the Adam's apple. Soft triangle. People don't like to get scammed and duped and raped and murdered and lied to, right? If you have a dick and you pretend like you don't, that's why there's all these stories of someone freaking out. Like they go to a bar and a guy is trying to trick another dude into gay sex. And they're hooking up with what they think is a woman because they're wasted and they find a dick and they get angry. Yeah, because you're essentially raping them. It's like you're essentially seducing someone. Yeah, it's gross. It's like passive aggressive. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, right? If you have a weird sexual fetish and a mental illness, cool, fuck off. Why is Nana from the UK, Mrs. Doubtfire over here, oh, you don't know how privileged you are because you don't have a... This woman doesn't have a womb. Miss fucking Cobwebs over here. All right? Just because you have dusty sawdust vag. She's just angry because she's not a woman anymore. You don't know how privileged you are. She's talking because you might as well, right? I'm just saying. She's an older woman. You might as well be trans. I'm not talking about anyone that's old. I'm talking about this old hag. You're a woman. You can't reproduce right now. Okay? Okay, so you lost your womanhood in that sense also. It's called getting older, all right? Dudes are going to get the same way. Dudes are going to get to the point where they're not reproducing, unless you're Al Pacino or something. You know? Everyone fades. So, you don't know how privileged you are. Yeah, it's called being a woman. You used to be one. So, shut the fuck up. And I say that because you've abandoned being a woman if you have that fucking mindset. So, you're an idiot.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on
Yeah, you
science.
dried up old prune. Yeah, get out of here. That was some funny, there was some good audio. Actually, I want to go back to that. Where is it? Where's that video? What happened to it? Where'd it go? I want to see it one more time. Not the whole thing. I want the...
You don't know how privileged you are.
You don't know how privileged you are. I want to do the storming the gates, right? I want to do the gates one.
You wear your body like a badge, and still you guard the gates as if anyone asking to enter must be trying to steal it from you.
Okay, well, women should be. If women, ladies, it's your fault that the trans shit took off like this. It's women's fault. Women allowed this. Women allowed it to happen. Women are too accepting and agreeable. You know, if you didn't have people like Riley Gaines and stuff being like, shut the fuck up, you guys are retards, this is insane. And then eventually everyone else started, you know, women had to step up. And it took a lot. And luckily you have women like J.K. Rowling and Riley Gaines that are standing up for this insanity, because most other women are just pussies. They're not doing it. Men are going along with like, all right, if women want to just fucking let this happen, like, okay, fine, whatever. And women are like, okay, well, we don't want to be mean. Sure, yes, queen. You have no idea how privileged you are. Your waist. Yeah, here we go. Yours flat. Here we go. Let's do the flat triangle.
Your breasts, your waist, your hips. Your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on.
Your soft, flat triangle that the world never zooms in on. Oh God, yo, you know what's funny? That gives me hope, at least. The fact that in 2016 and 2024, the entire country was like, "Fuck no," and literally, you know, it's a major reason why I don't want to say we never will, but we probably shouldn't. Like, unless you're a very rare, unique individual, have a female president. But overwhelmingly, the country is like, nope, not a fucking chance. And literally, the two worst. You know, Kamala would have just been like a vacuum, she's a vacuous, just hole. It would have just been like the military complex, just running her like a hand puppet, which, you know, runs everything for the most part anyway. But, you know, Hillary would have been actively evil. Kamala would have just been like just a power vacuum, which would have been it would have been worse. For us, it would have been worse. Which is crazy to say. But not really crazy. It's just, yep, overwhelming. We're like, nope, fuck that shit. All right, let's get away the Swole card, and then we will do a throwback, and then we'll see you tomorrow for 3487. Hashtag Get Swole. Let's give it away. All right. Today's winner is, drum roll, please. Drum roll. Today's winner is Candyman. Congratulations on Wednesday's Swole card. Candyman 156. Congratulations. I wanted to say, like, you have a nice, you know, congratulations on your smooth triangle, I suppose. That should have been the Swole card. Smooth triangle. None of you have a smooth. Hey, I don't have a smooth triangle. I'm a man. I'm a man. Anyway, get swole. It's okay, buddy. Hashtag get swole. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swolecard 3486. In the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. It might have to be smooth triangle. If I remember, tomorrow's swole card will be smooth triangle. Falcon, remind me. Smooth triangle tomorrow. All right. Let's Jesus Christ. Well, that's the face. That's the face only face for radio. Face only a mother can love. Speaking of throwback, you're going to see that face again. That is today's episode title. This is going to be that quote. Here we go. Throwback.
I'm trying to define my gender, but it's really hard in 60 seconds, so I'm going to talk really fast.
Oh, great.
I'm gender fluid, and here's how that works for me. Most of the time, I'm one of two, modes or mindsets. Most of the time, I am this weird amalgamation of, genders and vibes and essence and just being.
You're insane.
That I literally
Holy
cannot
shit.
define. I don't know. You're just going to have to take my word for it. It's like the universe. It's ever-flowing. There's, it sparkles, and it's just it changes over time, and it moves through each other, and it's never one thing. Other majority of the time, I'm just a void. There's nothing there.
You just described it. The 41 seconds so far describes your void perfectly. Nailed it. You are a void. Got that fucking right.
You're goddamn right.
Oh, God. Your soft triangle. The world never zooms in on. That's the title today. You're goddamn right. Absolute void. Fam, thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Join us over at swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. Get access to our app. Get access to all the amazing content and the private live streams. And, of course, buy one, get one 50% off over at papaswolio.com. Go pick up some awesome merch. Fuck your candy canes. Straight facts. Thanks for being here, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in a Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you choosing pop.